Peace, everybody. This is Medicine Man once again. And we're going to talk about today. I wanted to pretty much go with everybody about having love work done. I know a lot of people, and this is like client information for a lot of people that have love work done and that are anticipating and getting love work done. There's a few principles that people should actually have in mind when they're getting their love work done. One of the principles of love work is understanding what kind of situation you're actually in. One of the things that people don't really understand is that when we get into situations and love situations, and we binding our lovers, our boyfriends, our girlfriends, our whatever, when we binding them to us, for the most part, what we are doing is creating the energy patterns between two people. You're pretty much pulling this person's energy and connecting it with yours so that both of you guys can actually have a better union. One of the things that people don't hold in consideration is that there must be an attitude change. There must be a perception change. There must be a change in behavior to where the elements of the relationship is different when that person returns. Because ultimately, you don't want to bring somebody back to a situation where they actually caught in the same circumstances that they had prior to them leaving. You know what I mean? And that's one of the main things when it comes to love work. Many people like to have the love work done, but they don't want to have the personal work done for themselves. You see, because if you're in the same oppressive state, if you're in the same depressive state, if you're in the same uncontrollable behavioral state, then when a root worker brings your loved one back to you, hell, they're gonna run off again. Because you have not changed. A major part of having love work done for you, a major part of having root work done for you, a major part of having binding work done for you is for you to change. Okay? Because the reason why your lover left was because there were elements in the relationship that they didn't like about you. There were situations that were created in a relationship that they didn't like, but it all stems from you. And this is the way that we're going to perceive it when we approach our root work. So you changing your attitudes that you had in motion during the time that y'all were in that relationship has to change. Because we know that those attitudes, those behaviors that you had while y'all were in the relationship, it didn't work. Because if it did work, you'd still be in the relationship. You see? So there becomes a time and a point in the root work, in the binding work, in the love work where you have to change. You have to generate the energy of change. You have to generate the thought pattern of change, the perception of change, the feeling within yourself of change. Because once you generate that level of energy within yourself, once you take the time and the dedication to go out and change yourself from the old perceptions and behaviors you had, you create the playing field, you create the environment for your loved one to come back. Because you've generated all of the necessary energies, all of the necessary thoughts and behaviors needed for them to recognize that you are the person that they want to be with, that you are the person that they want to spend their future with. But you have to generate that energy. You can't just go to a root worker and say, oh, I want to put a love spell on so-and-so. Oh, I want to put a binding spell on so-and-so. But you're still doing stupid things. But you're still behaving erratically. You see? But you're still pouring out all of your depression on your loved one. You can't do those things and expect these people, the people you're trying to get back into your life, to come back. So you have to change. You have to create that inner energy, that inner change. Transform yourself to become the person that they want to love. You have to become that. And that's in any relationship. Not just love work and binding work. Any relationship. If you get involved in a fresh relationship, the first thing you're trying to do is what? Nurture that love, nurture that bond. In order for you to nurture love and bonding in a relationship, you have to have that total understanding, one. And you have to be willing to work with people. Compromising. And attitude adjustments. Very important. Attitude adjustments is very important. If a relationship has not worked because you exerted a particular attitude in that relationship, then you need to change that attitude. Because if you maintain the same attitude, if you maintain the same behavior and thoughts that ran that person off, and your root worker, your good root worker, do all the hard work to get the person back, you still got the same behaviors, the same thoughts, the same everything that ran that person off. You see? So my message to all my clients has always been and will always be, work on transforming yourself to becoming the person that they want to love. Your boyfriend, your girlfriend been with you originally because they loved your ass. Okay? Then you became, some cases, not all cases, but in some of the cases I'm dealing with, you became the reason they left. So when we put all of that on top of the table, when I open up a reading, I'm looking at you first. Because I want to know what circumstance existed that came from you. What energy was generated that came from you that destroyed the relationship. Now we're going to look at what energy came from your spouse also that destroyed the relationship. But your spouse didn't call me. You called me. And because you called me, what's going to happen is we're going to strip you down and we're going to build you back up to become that person that's going to exert that love on their spouse when we bring them back. You see? And this is what is very important in root work for lovers and root work for married couples. This is very important because changing yourself is like someone's going out. Someone went on a long trip and gone for 2 or 3 years, and they left their family at home. On returning home, your family say, "Oh man, Madison man coming home. We're gonna clean up the house. We're gonna wax the floor. We're gonna wash the carpets. We're gonna do all the curtains. We're gonna have this place here shining so when he come back." And see, this is the mentality that you have to have in your root work when you're trying to get your loved one back. You have to have that kind of determination. Say, "Oh, my loved one's coming back. I got this root work done. I know they're coming back. Let me fix myself. Let me clean my house." And I ain't talk about sweeping your physical floor. I talk about sweeping the floor of your mind, sweeping the floor of your heart, mopping your attitude. You see? And transforming yourself into that person that is seeking to be loved genuinely, not forcing it, but seeking. And this is what root work is about. Love work is about. It's not about forcing. It's about transforming non-love into love. It's about transforming no love into love. It's about transforming a friendship into a relationship. But it just doesn't happen with spiritual force alone. It happens with the force that generates out of you. Peace. It's Medicine Man. Y'all already know the drill.